Hello and welcome to another episode of Cooking with Cleavage. I know you can't see it right now, but I did wear my best lingerie for you today. And I'll take it off after I pound because I just don't want to get my clothes all dirty. I'm making paneed meat today. It was my favorite thing my mom made as a kid. Other cultures, that's the French term for paneed meat or whatever, paneed. There's also the Italian version, that's Milanese, and there's also the German version, schnitzel, like Wiener Schnitzel, is like veal, paneed veal. So I made a joke with a friend recently. I was like, oh, I could pane anything. And he dropped off this shoulder steak. So I've never actually paneed shoulder steak before. We're going to give it a try today. I usually, I say that the only way I'll ever eat chicken breast is to pane it. But now that you can find in the stores boneless, skinless chicken thighs, it's also really good with chicken thighs. So I pounded and I breaded all of these. I'm just going to show y'all on the last one how it's done. So this is a mallet. It's also called a meat tenderizer, right? And this meat probably needs a lot of tenderizing, so I'm using the side that will actually like penetrate it, right? And you see how it flattens? It's actually getting tenderized as it's getting pounded. Wow. This might be the best piece yet, because the rest of them were rather thick. Okay, so after it's pounded, you put it in an egg wash. That's just 1 cup of milk to 1 egg. And I also, I used 2 cups here, so I used 3 eggs. And I just seasoned it. Salt, pepper, seasoning. I have Italian seasoning in there. And then I have here, in this bowl, just breadcrumbs. It's the breadcrumbs that have the Italian seasoning in them. And then I season that with salt, pepper, and I did put some Parmesan cheese in here, grated Parmesan. Then you just put it in there and you coat it, right? And you make sure it's all pressed down in there. And then turn it and you make sure the other side is also coated really well, right? And then you just put it in the pan. And I have the pan over here really nice and hot with just vegetable oil. See how that is going to cook for us today. Could probably be a little higher. I thought I had it on enough. Yeah, you hear that sizzle. And then my mom always served this with mashed potatoes and green peas. I like to mix my mashed potatoes with my peas. So that's what I have cooking there. It's just potatoes that I sliced up to make the boiling time more, not so slow, faster. And it's just boiling. You just want to boil those until you can stick a fork in it, because you're just going to mash those up, right? So that's the start, and we'll see y'all soon.
Yeah.
Okay, so now y'all know I've been kind of hung up on the champagne lately. So I found another cocktail. It's called the Barbotage. It's another champagne cocktail. So it uses a 1/2 ounce of brandy. This is 3/4 ounce. So you just use, to get an ounce, you just go maybe about that much, It's not all the way up. And that's about half. And then 2 teaspoons. Oh, you want me to take this off? Oh, I gotta take this off because I did pound the meat already. So, okay, that was just my joke, because it's my kitchen apron that has lingerie. It's the Eiffel Tower with lingerie on it. And this is Grand Marnier, so 2 teaspoons of Grand Marnier. I don't usually use my kitchen measures when I make bar cocktails. That might be a little too much Grand Marnier, but is there such a thing as too much Grand Marnier? And then you just top it with champagne. It's called the Barbotage. I might be forgetting like a lemon twist or something like that, but. Okay, so I'm gonna actually try it. Do you want to try some too? Here we go. Cheers. And the paneed meat is cooking over there. We'll be right back to show you how it gets golden, crispy, brown. Hey, so we're back. Okay, and I have the potatoes that are, you know, I could stick a fork in them, and I have my masher here, and I have some butter here. So I'm gonna put some butter in there, right? And let it melt while I mash the mashed potatoes. The only other thing I didn't tell you about is this morning I took some garlic and I peeled it, and I wrapped it in aluminum foil and covered it with olive oil, and I put it in the oven for a while. And I put the roasted garlic that I had from the oven in here. So it's going to be like a roasted, that's actually the garlic that's roasted right there. But it's kind of hard on the outside. So hopefully some of the inside will come out. I kind of forgot about it. But just so you know, I did cut myself today while I was cutting the potatoes, and I just burned myself on a hot metal with oil spatula because the spatula decided to hug my arm for some reason. So that's the dangers of cooking. Just make sure that you're careful, more careful than I am in my haste of trying to get this done. So I'm going to add a little bit of cream. And you mash all that together. Look how good that's looking. I'm gonna grab that spoon I was using to get the potatoes out. And the butter's melting, right? And then you just wanna actually salt it and season it. You know, some people might want to boil. I've heard of people boiling their potatoes in a crab boil and making it a little bit spicy, which is good. Or somebody might want to use bacon grease, you know, in their mashed potatoes. That's fine. It's really just a preference thing. And I'm not the kind of person to make mashed potatoes very often. So y'all probably have better ideas than I do about it. But my mom did serve this dish with mashed potatoes, so I'm actually making mashed potatoes. It looks like it needs a little bit more cream or milk. I'm going to try a little milk this time. Just so, you know, in case I need to save some of that cream from my coffee today. Or tomorrow before work. You know, we're back in the grind tomorrow. So, ooh, that looks like that was a great addition. If you want to see what this mashed potato looks like, look how beautiful that looks, right? And I prefer mashed potatoes with skin because that's the way I was raised with mashed potatoes. A lot of people are preferential about their mashed potatoes. They don't like skin in them, or they like them a certain way or certain this way or that. I'm going to add some salt. Potatoes don't have any salt at all, so you need to, I'm gonna take this out. It's not helping because it's pretty mashed already, right? And then I'm gonna check on this is my last meat. And I started using a spatula because I found that this particular meat isn't the best for breadcrumbs sticking to it. So I needed a little help with my spatula friend, and that's how I got burned. All right. Those are the rest of them that are already done. I'm not sure if this is the best meat to pane, but like I said, I did accept the challenge of I can pane anything, so I'm giving it a try, right? I'm gonna add a little more milk to this, maybe a little more butter. I think it needs a little more butter. I'm the kind of person, I know everybody loves loaded baked potatoes, but I just love baked potato with only salt and butter. Oh, I love it like that. It's so good. So you can add anything to this and make it up to your liking, right? And while that butter is melting and while the mashed potatoes are, wow, look at it, y'all. Look at that. I mean, that's really yum, yum, yum. Chunky and mashy and great, right? I'm gonna give it a little taste. I could use a little more salt. I'm gonna add a little more salt, but just a little, not as much as last time. And then, you know, people can always add salt at the table. Better than making something seasoned too much when you're cooking it. And I also want to take this time to thank my sister Ashley. Shout out to Ashley. She thought this outfit would look great for cooking with cleavage, so that's why I'm wearing it today. And to my friend Donna, who sent me these beautiful champagne glasses, not just one, but two, because she saw me on here using regular glasses for champagne. So I'll really have to thank her. They're gorgeous. I'm gonna take care of them. I'm doing everything to make sure they do not break. Ooh. And as you can see, I'm back to my champagne cocktail. I never knew I would like the traditional champagne cocktail as much as I do. So it goes to show that it's good to try new things that maybe you wouldn't normally have, right? To get out of your comfort zone with food. Because you might really like something that you never liked before, you know? I mean, sometimes you get to try something and you're like, okay, well, I'm glad I tried that and I'll never try it again. So it's also good to know what you're not gonna like, right? Okay, so I'm almost done with this and I'm gonna be back because I gotta cook those peas. Okay, so this is, I cooked the peas, I just steamed the peas, right? A little bit of salt, water, salt, and a little bit of butter. And I'm gonna mix, like I said, I always loved mixing my peas with my mashed potatoes. So I'm gonna do that. So that way, when you bite into it, and like I said, I don't know if this is gonna be the perfect cut of meat to do paneed, but I'm gonna give it a try. I mean, I'm a paneed fan. So I'm gonna take a little bite of that. Different, but still good. A little bite of mashed potatoes with peas. That brings back fond memories. It's what people call like comfort food. You know, this reminds me of my childhood, so I love this dish. Y'all can make it with whatever you want. I mean, serve it with macaroni if you want to. Like I said, you can make it with chicken, veal, beef, whatever. Just pane it, you know. And I hope y'all have a great Sunday. It's good for to see y'all again. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Cooking with Cleavage.